Hi, greetings, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you're reaching out to me, my name is Augustine, and I'm one of the many voices within the Simply Brilliant community. And today I'm here to give us a quick summary of yesterday's mass adoption meeting. If you're tuning into my broadcast for the first time, I would appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel and then click on the notification bell so that anytime I'm live, you would get the notifications. It will be very good as a member in the community or a prospective member to get yourself properly informed about the activities happening in our community. The goal of our community is to see that we create balance in the world. The world is going out of sync, and we as a community, as human beings, are coming together to correct that anomaly. And while we exercise our franchise as human beings created by God, we will exercise authority under private jurisdiction. And in the course of that, we are also going to empower human beings such that we'll have a million billionaires and we'll also have a billion millionaires. That's what we are going to do. I must tell you that it's a cause not for the feeble minded. I must tell you it's a cause for the strong. I must tell you it's a cause for those who are willing to change this world. If you are part of us and you think you can change this world, then you're on the right course. But if you are giving for quick gratification, you want to gain it immediately within the shortest possible time, then I think you should look elsewhere because our community will empower you over time. It's not a promise, it's not a quick gratification thing. We don't promise that if you come in today, you are going to get your reward tomorrow. So you must be steadfast in our community if you're going to succeed. Yes, you have to be steadfast. It's not going to be a bed of roses. It's not just going to be a roller coaster. There are things you are going to see that will shake you. But if you are strong in your mind, then you'll be able to pull through. All right, so that's my pep talk. And now let's move in for the main content. Yesterday's meeting, the administration just came in and he still has toothache. And he told us that the meeting wouldn't be so long. And we're not going to take question and answers in our meeting. So yesterday, the meeting lasted for roughly about 35, 45 minutes. That was how long it lasted. And the administration reassured us that things are going according to plan. Yeah, he reassured us that things are going according to plan and that one step at a time, one day at a time, everything is going to unfold. You know, so he quickly um, told us a few things. The first thing he told us was this that over time his attention will be on the builders of our community and that the builders are going to be handsomely rewarded for the efforts that they put in growing this community. He also said that the bulk of the benefits are going to be given to the builders and that he encourages you and I and all of us to become builders in the Simply Brilliant community so that we can build our community as fast as possible. He also added that he also wants builders to duplicate their kind. It's not enough to just building people to the community, but duplicating your kind is what matters. From my experience, out of 100 people I recruit, because we want to grow the community fast, I can say about 10% of them will be builders. And from experience, if you want someone to become a builder, you must take your time to brood upon the person. The instance is when you see a hen sitting on her eggs, and as long as she sits on those eggs and she sits on it very well, then it will hatch and become a chick. Now that's the idea of yourself being a builder, building a fellow builder. It will take some time. So it means you must be up to the task to make sure that as many you bring into the community, you educate them, you bring them to mass adoption meeting, you show them how the community has been and the challenges that you may face and how to um, avoid such challenges. So to cut the long story short, the administration advised that builders should build their type. And as long as builders duplicate, the community will grow and it will grow much faster. Yes, yesterday was June 12th. It was a historic day in our Simply Brilliant community. And those that are on the rotator team for 22 were supposed to get their equal match yesterday. And actually, they have received their equal match. But there is a bit of lag from the programmers which are supposed to have implemented it, but they are finalizing at this moment. I speak to you. All things being equal, it should be fully put into activation today. That those on the rotator 23 should get their equal match today. And then for those who are on the core team and on the backup team, they should get double match today. And we continue the building process. The administration advised that it's not good enough for individuals to be idle. It's not good enough for people to just pay their subscription fee, and that he has deliberately set up the $5 promo for a purpose. And the purpose is to see that builders are able to duplicate as fast as possible. And the admin was of the opinion that we should look at bringing in between 4 to 5 people from the builders $5 that we're receiving. 4 to 5 people is a good one. And of course, from each of them you bring in, provided they are new members, you are going to get bounty from each of them. And when you get a 50% bounty from 4 of them or 5 of them, then that's okay. Plus the fact that you may also have old downlines. That's going to be something worthwhile. At least the $5 will encourage new members. And then those 5 members or 4 members, depending on how many you can bring in, you should also educate them on how to duplicate. The process must continue. If we're going to make a difference and get our community to 1 million active members this year, then we should be able to duplicate as fast as possible. This is the mind of the administration. He wants to see that we are able to hit 1 million members this year. And that's why his attention will be focused majorly on the builders. And if you are someone that is intending to be a builder, I want to reassure you that it's going to be a worthy employment opportunity. Okay? So don't get frightened, don't get afraid. The incentives will be made available for you. And the administration also said, for those of us who are taking advantage of the $5 and are swapping, that you will be suspended for about 7 days. In the meeting also, he let us understand that he's still contemplating, extending it for more than 7 days, and that he hasn't come to a consensus yet. He hasn't made up his mind yet. And when he makes up his mind, he will decide whether to extend it for 14 days if you are a builder and you default or not. He also advised that if you are a builder in the community, don't share the wallets. You should have at least 2 wallets. One wallet is going to be for your basic activity, and the other wallet for your $5. For the $5, you don't share, you don't do peer to peer, you don't swap, you don't do anything. You just use what the money gives, what the system gives you to pay for your subscription fee. And you should also be smart. Now, you should also be smart to make sure that you take advantage of the market. Don't pay for your downlines when the market is low. You should make sure that the market is high for you to pay for your downlines. And you have to understand the trend of the market in our Simply Brilliant community. Because if you don't understand the trend, then the $5 will not profit you in any way. So there is a whole lot of learning because this is a school that would upgrade you into becoming a billionaire. So there are a whole lot of learnings that you have to do in the course of building this community. A whole lot of wisdom, and you have to also have to be careful with the kind of people you associate with because there are a whole lot of energies in the community. There are energies that are downcasting, and there are also energies that are uplifting. You should be careful to find out what kind of people are in the community and how to associate with them. You must also be willing to work. Those who are not doing anything in the community, you will get at some point, if you are not willing to be persistent, you may get fed up because it's in direct proportion. The growth of the community is in direct proportion to how many builders we're able to produce. If we produce as many builders as possible, then congratulations, we build fast. But if we are slow about it, then the heat will tell on the people who are paying from their pockets. Come to think about it, times are getting tougher. It's getting tougher by the day, and it's not getting any easier. I tell you categorically that the challenges we are facing this year will multiply a little bit more next year. I will be lying to you if I tell you that it will get easier. It's going to get a bit more challenging. And that's the reason why the administration is craving our indulgence to go to work so that we can build an economy that would promote love, abundance, and respect for one another. This is the only way we can excel. Because if we're going to sit down and then just wait for a miracle to happen, there is no miracle that will happen. There will be nobody that will save you. You and I should come together and agree on how to save ourselves. This has been the heartbeat of the admin. This has been the voice of the admin. This has been the mind of the admin. Again and again, it has been written out in the Gringo Cashback office. When you look through the old blog, the new blog, everything has been consistent. Humanity, come together so that you can lift yourself out of the morass of poverty into a world built on the principle of abundance, love, and respect. And we can't sit by and assume it's a Ponzi scheme. It's not. So that's why the admin is having a plan to make sure that he heavily compensates the builders. And as long as he heavily compensates the builders, he would make the builder program very lucrative, that it becomes very interesting for individuals out there to become builders in the community, and then they can build the community faster. And all you just have to do in the community is come in and be a builder, and every other thing will take care of itself. The long-term benefits will take care of itself. Remember also that in our community, every new member that comes in should be willing to pay the price for the next 1 year. If you refer back to your Kringle Cashback office, you will see it. Now, I would like to share my screen so that we can look into it. And then with that, I think I'll be bringing the meeting to a close. So I'm now sharing my screen. And of course, if you qualify for the June promo, you'll see this. And before I go into every other detail, I'll come here. And the I think the administration was the person that did this. And well, a few other people decided to sell. The price recovered and was still recovering until we experienced this. So for those of us who has received your $5 and you intended using it to pay for your downlines, it's not a right time to pay now. If you make the mistake of making any payment now, has given you, you have to be smart and allow the price to recover. It has to recover to this point and perhaps exceed this point and get to this point. So you have to be smart. There are a whole lot of forces that you are going to contend with in the course of time. Some of the forces are individuals who are not using their wallets for $5. You are going to contend with them because they see Joy G as any other coin. In fact, they see it as a coin that goes up fast. So when it goes up, they sell. And you have to contend with them. because there is nothing the administration can do about that chapter. The point is, if you are not a builder and you are lucky to accumulate a substantial amount of coins, you would not be willing to pay attention mass adoption meetings. A utility coin. It's because it's in the market. So they don't care. All they just do is when they see the price is up, they sell. And then unfortunately as well, when they sell, those who have what it takes, they also buy in. And then you have to work with them. You have to manage them. In life, you have to manage challenges because these are what you call necessary evil. They must happen in our organization, but you have to be smart. You have to be very smart. That's why you have to patiently wait. At this point, you can't sell, you can't buy. Sorry, you can't use the money given by the system to pay subscription fee. It must recover. And if it doesn't recover in experience in the community, you have to take it in good faith. That's what I wanted to say. Um, okay, I'm trying to get it. Anyway, this is it. Yeah, this is it. We have both short-term and long-term ways to gain, especially if you are willing to introduce our offers to others and help us to build this community. Emphasis has been on building and building. Building and building has been the emphasis we've been laying. And we are not pushing away the old members. Our arms are open to the old members. But then that offer ended yesterday. If you are in the community and you are an old member and you renew your subscription fee, now you'll find yourself on the Rotator 23. If you read through this content, you'll see everything. In fact, this poster spells it out, starting on June 1st and ending on June 11th, which was they were on January 1st. In final restoration, if you value being on a top team, then keep up monthly payments in a timely fashion. Now, the only way to achieve this is to be a builder. I keep saying that it's going to get more challenging. And whether I like it or not, you can't run away from it. As long as you're on earth, it's going to get more challenging. So the fastest way to go about this is to be a builder. The builder program guarantees that you wouldn't fall out. It also guarantees that you will grow the community. The challenge we're having is that we have not opened our mind up to being a builder yet. So having an opportunity to make payments in a timely fashion. Wow. Well, a few people are financially capable to keep paying from their pockets, plus taking responsibility for other things. Of course, if you're going to be in the community and you are going to thrive as a billionaire, you must understand that there will be responsibilities. For instance, as a father or as a mother, you have personal responsibilities, you have responsibilities to your spouse, and if you have children, you also have responsibilities to your children. You have to pay their school fees, pay the house rent, pay for the electricity bills. It's making your money worthless by the day. So, what are you going to do? I think it's best you be a builder. Builder is the best. And you have to just make up your mind. Gets difficult. You won't be able to keep it, and you may fall off. 1 million active members this year, then we would have access to our equal match by next year. But it's in the hands of the builders. That's why the admin is really paying attention to see that builders are handsomely rewarded. Remember, we are still in the month of June. There will be July promo, okay? And there will be August promo, and consequently to the end of this year. These promos will all be a builder's promo. It's going to be under the builder promo, And I think this is my personal thoughts that there may be slight modifications over time. The administration will determine that. But we are going to watch to see. Remember that everything is geared towards helping the builders to be happy. And as long as the builders are happy, then the community will grow faster and every other needs will be met. He also said if we're able to hit up to $4,000 this month, that he would also start paying the buybacks for those who have their money in the system. So all these are things the administration talked about yesterday. And before I go into the last thing, which he talked about, I believe this has been here for long. So it's up to you guys to read. Many people are not reading. Many people in the community are not reading. They are sitting down and expecting a miracle to happen. That's wrong. You are not reading. It's one thing to read. It's another thing to work on what you've read. It just pains me that people are not getting it. It just pains me that people are not willing to get it. It's not as if they can't get it, but they are just, they have their own mind. They are lost in their own personal opinion, and they expect the system to be the way they want it to be. And that's why you see them selling. If they had understood the cost of, in fact, if they had read this dashboard, they should have been able to act appropriately. But I will tell you that a gross number of us in the community hasn't even sat down to read it once. All right, so let's quickly move into the last two things before we call it quits for today. So I went into the reward section and then SBC rewards. So let it finish loading. I think it's finished loading now. Now, the SBCs that I'm having are still 800. It should be 1,000, meaning that 100 SBC every month. Those on the rotator team receive 50. Those on the backup team receive 100. So it's a major sign. The moment you see this at 1,000, you know that everything has been sorted out. For my TBC and then my Joy G, it's the same thing. I should receive double, but it's like the support team are finalizing or the programmers are finalizing. So be on guard, pay attention because it will happen soon. It should happen before our next mass adoption meeting because there is a whole lot of content that the administration has for us on tomorrow's mass adoption meeting. So I implore you to be in the meeting tomorrow and hear what the administration will say. All right, so let's go to the last, second to the last, then we'll go to the last. And that will be all for today. Sorry about that. So this is the last. And when you look at this, you'll find out that the number of people on the rotator team hasn't changed. Nothing has actually changed. And then those on the backup team are the same thing, nothing has changed. And then those on the rotator team as well, nothing has also changed. So these are the three teams that are going to enjoy their match this year. And then some of them will get double, some will get quadruple, depending on what category you find yourself. So I'm hopeful that before the end of today, you are going to see the right numbers. These are the numbers. These ones are a mixture of the old and the new. There is a filter process that will happen very soon, and the real number of people in the community will be seen. You would also see that there will be a change on Rotator 23. These numbers are also going to shoot up very well. Hopefully 20,000. I don't know, but everything should be determined shortly. All right. So this was it. This was the summary of yesterday's mass adoption meeting. The administration ended the meeting by calling the attention of Nolly, who is the ambassador for Philip and so this is a promo, not a promo, an activity, an event that will be taking place in Philippines. And if you look at the poster, we build rotator team to become a billionaire. So the intent of this from what Nolly said, is that to reignite the fire in the community in Philippine chapter. And it's more about people, power to the people. So he said that they are going to really emphasize on building the community and then reigniting the fire in the community and encourage builders to build. So you see, the whole idea is it's not just limited to Philippines, it's in extension all countries of the world. At some point, people will find out that you have no other choice than to build. They may not get it yet, but very soon they will. And it all depends on when you get it because there will be opportunities that will be passing you by every blessed day. And whenever you step up to start building, the opportunities that are available then is what you work with. So, with that, the administration called the meeting to a close. There were no questions. So, he told us to take note of Wednesday mass adoption meeting and that possibly by then he'll be better off. And then, he will interact with us. There'll be a 1 hour monologue and then another 1 hour of dialogue. So, that's all for now. And I'll use this opportunity to ask if there are questions you have to ask, you can ask your questions. I think I'm in a position to answer your questions. To remind you, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Augustine. And in the community, I am the ambassador for Nigeria. I am also a member of the Privy Council. The Privy Council are made up of about 4 people. The first is the Chief Justice of the Simply Brilliant community in the person of Bederick. The second person is myself, Augustine. The third person is, I'm just calling the numbers, okay? It's not hierarchical, it's just the number of people there. The third person is Brother Amechi, who is also a Nigerian, Brother Amechi Optimist, Ike. And then following that is Brother Kaldasha from the United States. And then there is also the ambassador for Ivory Coast in the person of Brother Innocent Keba. For now, these are the members comprising the Privy Council in our Simply Brilliant community. So you are going to see a good number of us in one capacity or the other as the community evolves. Okay. All right. So that said. Let me quickly go into the content of those that has made 1 or 2 feedback. Good morning, sir. I'm happy to hear from you always. My mind and heart is at peace because of what you are doing for this community. God bless you. And God bless you too. So this is also my beloved sister. Good morning, Ambassador Augustine. Welcome. Says, all right. Sorry for the network challenge. Thank you for your great job. So, you're welcome. Now, the next person says, good morning, Ambassador Austin. Redeemed one of the member helpers said, you can swap BNB BSC to $5, receiving Joy G wallet, and use it to pay for others. And he was emphatic about that. Please clarify. Interesting. I love this question that this guy asked. Now, I'm going to speak from my own point of view, okay? There are a good number of leaders in the community, and I love it. So, when you are a leader, there are people who follow you. And I'm a leader, I'm a broadcaster. In fact, by the grace of God, I have multiple responsibilities in the community. So based on your question, I will tell you what I will do. Okay, everybody can do whatever they like. The administration said something, and I'm going to follow what the system is saying. So on this note, let me share back my screen. I'm supposed to have stopped sharing my screen, but I have to share my screen for the sake of this question you've asked. So I'll go back to the dashboard page and look at what the programmers, I mean, those that are behind the scene, what they said. I'm going to use that to make my. You have successfully qualified for the June promo. Congratulations. Please Remember, you may not. Take note of this. You may not. Now, why they are saying may is if you want to, then you will suffer the consequences. So you may not transfer. Transfer. Of course, you know what transfer is. You may not sell. You know what sell is. Now, you may not swap. You know what swapping is. I don't need to explain this. Now, going by this is what I want to talk about. Consolidate any Joy G. Now, when you look at this from the wallet that receives promotional payment, it was particular and emphatic about Joy G. You should do nothing about Joy G. You shouldn't consolidate, meaning that you have $25, you want to complete it to $30, and you are using the Joy G promotional wallet. It is wrong for someone to send money $5 extra or $10 extra into your promotional wallet Joy G. With that, you will receive the consequences of 7 day suspension. Now, from the wallet that receives promotional payment, it can only be used to pay KCBO fees. Violating that rule will result in 7 day suspension from receiving any promotional funds. Repeated violations could result in a permanent ban from receiving promotional funds. You see, this permanent ban, some people will fall victims over time because there are some people that are just given to their own minds. It's nothing else but their minds. And anything that is in opposition to their minds, they oppose it, they fight it. The community is not willing to wrestle with you. Instead, the community would off you. It's going to be that simple. As we build this membership base into 1 billion, we are careful to look for the right mindset of people. It's not just any kind of people that will fit into this community. If it's anything goes mentality, guys, you will go nowhere in this community. All right, back to your question. From what we see here, it didn't say anything. What I resolved to do was if I receive my bounty, because I receive my bounty in my promotional wallet, that is my promotional MetaMask wallet, what I will simply do is to move that BNB to some other wallet where I put my coins and other things. I move it to some other wallet and then swap the BNB for Joy G in that wallet. That's what I will do. And if there is need to pay for someone else, because that wallet is not associated to a wallet, I can make payments for the person with, having fears that I will suffer suspension. How do they put it? From the scriptural point of view, the scripture says, flee from every appearance of evil. If you look at BNB, you know, swapping from BNB to Joy G is a kind of consolidation. I have not done it before, okay? And if the member helper in the person of Brother Dickens says you can swap it and you think you can go along, then fine. I'm not in opposition, okay? But for myself, I don't want to take a chance because if I take the chance and I'm a victim, I have suffered $35 loss, which is a $5 for 7 days. I'm not ready to take that chance. So, in order to avoid such challenge and possibly suffer the consequences, anything that has to do with BNB, I move it to some other wallet and I can swap it in that wallet because it's not in any way associated to my $5 promotion. That's what me I am going to do. So I don't know what safer, but if you still choose to follow Brother Dickens' way and it works I don't know where I stopped, but I was trying to point out something. I don't know when the network cut me off. I was sharing my screen and I was trying to say that if I receive my bounty, I move it to another wallet. And with that wallet, because it's not registered with the system where I don't receive $5 in it, I can do whatsoever I want with it. Use it to pay subscription fee. I do whatsoever I want with it. And if you choose to swap from BNB into JoyG and the system recognizes it, then it's okay. You would not suffer any penalty. I don't know. And I'm trying to play safe. That's what I'm doing. So, I hope I've been able to answer the question that you asked in summary. And consequently, I think you should call leaders. Don't be specific about names. Okay, call leaders. Don't call their names. It's not necessary calling the names. Okay, and I happen to be connected to so many groups, so I have an idea of a whole lot of things going on in the group, at least for Africa. So just follow up on that. When there are challenges, you can air it on the broadcast, but don't call names. It's not necessary because the intent of Brother Dickens, Redeemed Dickens, is a good one. He's a member helper. He interacts with the system very well and he addresses your challenges. So if he has said what he has said, he knows why he said it. You know, I hope you understand my reason. All right. So if there are anybody that has other questions to ask, please do well to ask your questions. But if there are no questions to ask, well, yesterday's mass adoption meeting was very brief. So I'm expecting that this also will be very brief. All right. So this is brother, I think brother Matthias. Hello, Council Augustine. Thank you for the work you are doing. You're very welcome. All right. So having made a summary, and I hope I have addressed everybody's concern, you guys should please tighten your seatbelts. Okay? It's not going to be on an easy ride, but it's going to be possible. We can make it happen with the right mindset, with right efforts. We can make it happen. So, till I come your way again, most likely on Thursday, by the grace of God. Do have a wonderful day. Cheers, and God bless you. Bye for now.